Hello, assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the levelup.id channel. As many of you requested, in this video we will try WINUX11. For those who don't know, WINUX11 is a Linux distribution designed to look very similar to Windows 11. According to some information, this Linux distribution can run Android games and also run Windows applications inside it. Is it really possible? We'll try it out in this video, guys. First, the installation process is actually the same as installing most other Linux distributions. You just need to download the ISO file from the official website, then create a bootable drive. You can use Ventoy or Rufus, it's up to you. And then just run it live from your flash disk or flash drive.
Okay guys, now we've entered Windows 11. The appearance really looks a lot like Windows 11 guys. Starting from the taskbar at the bottom, and on the left side there's a widget. If we click it, it will look like this because we haven't set the location yet.
So the weather doesn't appear, guys. Then the Start menu logo is different from Windows 11, but if we click the Start menu, it looks very similar to Windows 11. If we select All Apps,
all the applications that are pre-installed on the system will appear. And here there are a lot of built-in Windows applications. That's because the ISO file is 6.6 GB guys. There's Activate Windows, then Activate Directory. And here there's Android. There's Android file transfer and Discover as well. If you want to download Linux-based applications, you can download them directly from Discover. Zim is also here, Google Chrome, then Kid Hidden Live, and there's already a video editing application available. So you don't need to download it again. And you can also see here that there's Microsoft Office, although this is the online version, not the offline version guys. There's Excel, then Word, and PowerPoint is also here.
Microsoft Edge is also available in this Windows 11. So it's really designed to look as similar as possible to Windows 11.
Not only Microsoft Office, it turns out that OnlyOffice is also already installed here. This is an alternative to Microsoft Office that you can run on Linux for free.
Zim is also already installed, and there's also a system monitor here. Let's try to check the system monitor section. The appearance of the system monitor or task manager is also designed to look very similar to Windows 11 guys.
For RAM usage, when idle like this on a laptop with only 4 GB of RAM, it's around 1.6 GB. This is almost the same as Windows 10 version 22H2. On this laptop, Windows 11 uses almost 2 GB or more, while on this system it's around 1.5 to 1.6 GB. When it's idle like this, there's also a search menu here. If we click it, the run window will appear like this. Then there's task view like in Windows, but here if we click it, the display also looks similar to task view in Windows. It's just that here it looks a bit less tidy guys. Next, let's check the settings menu to see if it's the same as Windows 11 or not. You can see that the settings menu looks very similar to Windows 11.
The layout is similar to Windows 11, but it's still less tidy and also less modern. In Windows 11 now, it's already much more modern.
You can also change the theme to dark theme like this. If you want to switch to dark theme, the appearance will look like this guys. If you want to change the theme, just select it here.
And it turns out there's also a theme for Windows 10 in case you prefer using Windows 10. The update menu appearance here is also made to look similar to Windows 11.
But just like before, it's still not consistent. Many menus are cut off like this. So this Windows 11 look still isn't fully polished yet guys. Then let's try going into Discover. This is one of the Linux app stores that you can use to install Linux applications very easily. Here you can directly search for applications or games that you can immediately install on your Linux. Then let's continue to check the File Explorer. As for File Explorer, the icon does look similar to Windows 11, but the design and UI are different from Windows 11. Of course, here Microsoft Edge is already installed, and definitely there's also Copilot in Microsoft Edge guys. Then here there are also several control center options here like volume, then there's battery, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and also a calendar that looks like this. At a glance, it really looks a lot like Windows 11, but if you compare the details, it's very different. Now we're going to try an interesting feature from Windows 11, which is Android. If we run Android, the Android support power tool will appear like this guys. For the Android, it's run using a container, and we have to download an Android-based operating system like Prime OS into the Windows 11. So it's not run natively, but rather like a virtual machine or virtual box. and what will be run later is Android x86 like Prime OS. This will make the system very resource intensive, especially if you're using a laptop or PC with low-end specs, because there will be even more layers being used. You can see that when we run the Android system, it gets stuck like this on the laptop we're using because it really is very demanding. If we use Windows 10 and then run an Android emulator like Mumu Player, it can still run on our laptop, guys, whereas on Windows 11 it gets stuck like this because it's just too demanding. Then there's also something quite interesting, which is WinBoot. Its function is to run Windows applications on Linux, but it's not native either.
When you run it, the display will look like this, and again, it's not supported to run on our Potato laptop.
This is because the minimum RAM required here is 4 GB, while our RAM is only detected as 3.7 GB. So you can't try running WinBoot on our laptop, guys. So for Windows 11, it does have an Android feature, but you need a laptop or PC with high specifications.
But compatibility issues might still prevent it from working, because it uses something like a virtual machine to run the Android system. Then, for Windows, it also doesn't run natively, but it uses WinBoot to run Windows applications inside it.
And even modern Windows applications won't be able to run smoothly on this Windows Win 11, guys. In our opinion, in terms of appearance, this really looks a lot like Windows Win 11, but in terms of functionality, it's still far behind. It can be used for everyday use. If you're looking for a Linux that can be used as a replacement for Windows, we suggest you give it a try. Zorin OS, Ubuntu, or maybe Linux Mint, which is lighter than Windows and also better developed.
Jay. So that was our discussion about Windows 11, which is one of the Linux distributions that looks very similar to Windows 11. But for those of you who want to try Linux or switch from Windows to Linux, we recommend not using this kind of Linux distribution. You can just use a Linux distribution that is well developed, like Ubuntu, Mint, or Zorin OS, or other Linux distributions. Hopefully this video is useful. See you in the next video. Assalamu alaikum.